guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. I wanted to announce a change that I had to make to my Facebook business account. I did have to shut off the messaging. I know that some of you may know that I did kind of ask people not to message there if it wasn't puppy related, just because it affects the way that Facebook scores my messaging. And on top of it, it just kind of it mixes two areas of business that I would prefer to keep separate. Um, and so it that unfortunately we grew a lot, and I don't know that everybody saw that. And so unfortunately, I started to get just an overwhelming amount of messages. And while I am very appreciative to everyone that's reached out and support and positive messages and stuff, which I've read and I do appreciate, ultimately, it's mixed with a lot of, is my dog overweight, or does my dog look purebred, or can you find a home for this rescue, or can you take this dog, or I hate you and everything you do, I hope you die. And then there's also where was Blondie in that video? Why wasn't she out there? Who's watching your daughter whenever you're gone? Or who's watching your dogs whenever go on vacation? Like, ultimately, some very inappropriate questions. And so, because of the fact that there's so many of them, and very few of them have anything to do with actually my puppies, which is what that specific page is for, I just shut it down because it was easier. People can't message me and then block me, and say hurtful things and then block me. And so, I mean, and that's really not the big deal. The most importantly, it's that I have I really like to be what I would consider to be like a good person. And it is very difficult for me to get emails from people and not respond. I feel obligated to respond, but oftentimes it emotionally taxes me because there's so many emails. And I end up kind of avoiding even opening my inbox because I have this pressure to respond, and I don't have the time to respond. And it gets to be this kind of this emotional kind of roller coaster where I kind of have this feeling of like, you should be doing this, and it becomes very stressful. And so I just decided to shut it down. That's not to say that that you can't email me from my Gmail account if you are asking just a broad question. But what I can tell you is that I am not going to guarantee that I'm going to respond. I will try to at my ability, like as I have time, but ultimately my career has been growing a lot in the dogs. I've been doing more one-on-one trainings, and it just on top of really working with my dogs more and training with them, and I'm fixing to be going to some shows and stuff, and so I'm really growing. And on top of that, one of the things that I'm even the most excited about is because of the fact, as many of you know, I was a foster child. I lived in the foster care system from the time that I was like 7, and then I aged out. And at my last job, or actually where I still technically work, we work with a lot of foster care agencies. And so they want me to come and kind of speak to the foster kids there as like a motivational speaking, and even maybe to bring a couple of my dogs and to kind of help those children see that the way that they live now isn't gonna be the end. There's more to life, and it can be a beautiful thing, and hopefully kind of motivate these kids in a way that they can understand, because I've been through it. Not only have I been through it, I was I was one of the worst. I was very, very, very tough. And so I just, I fought all the way every time. I never gave up. I was all about fighting. So, the real tough kids are actually some of my favorites. And so getting to talk to them in a way that they can understand from someone that they can empathize with, I believe is a very healing thing. And I feel very motivated to do this. And if I can help inspire these children to go forward in their life with more hope and enthusiasm, then that in turn would make me very happy. So, because I've got all these things going, I have to then start to prioritize my time. So, I have less time to dedicate to a lot of questions from users. And it's not that I don't want to spend the time with them. It's just that I, there's I just have to kind of prioritize it, right? And so anyway, so having said that, if you, if I do have a Patreon, I always respond to my patrons. I also have a Gmail account. You can message there. Just, keep in mind that I can only respond when I have the time. And even then, please try not to like keep asking a lot of questions, or, you know what I mean? Like, try to be respectful of my time also, you know what I mean? If you can't donate anything, that's fine. I still try to help people. I just can only do so much right now. And so I do offer, if you live in my area, if you want to come over where I'm at, I can do training with you. I can help you out. I do that all the time. But as far as like, helping people over email, it's much harder for me because I don't have all the information. It's much easier for me to help through a phone call. And unfortunately, because of the nature of phone calls, I just don't have the time to sit on the phone all the time. So having said that, I'm going to be setting up a system for an affordable system for people to be able to get access to me and help in a way that allows me to justify, setting up all that time. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to soon be transitioning from no longer working at my current company to doing my dogs and training and, consulting full time. And so it's a dream come true for me. I could never have imagined to be able to do this because this is truly what I live for. I would love nothing more than to be able to have a career out of working with dogs and helping people with dogs. So that in itself is a blessing, but it is a very scary thing for me as well because I am supporting myself at this point, right? Like, everybody else, I've been used to going to work and my boss does all that. All I have to do is come in and do my job and everything's fine. It's a totally different thing when you're the one paying your own bills. You're the one who's got your own paycheck. It's a very frightening thing. Feels somewhat like walking off of a cliff. And so in order to feel more comfortable doing that, I'm going to set up a system so that I can still help people, but I'm not going broke doing so because I have bills to pay. So I'm going to have to be able to do that. But I also don't want to be completely unreachable to people, right? That's one of the things I've always done is like even my training package here, I do a whole month of training for $500. Nothing compared to what most people charge. And it's because I don't feel that it's, I don't feel like yanking people's chain like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel that it's like necessary for that. So anyway, so having said that, just try to understand why I had to do that. It wasn't personal. It's not like I don't like anybody or that anybody made me mad. It's just that, or not that I didn't get mad at some people, but having said that, that's not the reason why. It's just there's so much going on that there's some changes I have to make. And I would like to do, a series in my channel where I do answer questions for free that I've gotten, like one answer or maybe two questions in an email, as long as they're not about a dog being aggressive as far as trying to attack the owners or people in the home. I won't do those just because of liability. And please leave your phone number so that I can call you on the video. You will be on the video talking because I need to be able to ask you exploratory questions. All right. Because oftentimes what people think is relevant often isn't. Okay. And I need to be able to pry you for all those questions so that I can get to the root of the issue, and also need to hear your tone of voice, because there's a lot that I can tell from a person's tone of voice that will kind of put all of it together for me. So anyway, so if you're willing to do that, that is a way that I will be able to help you for free. You won't have to pay for that, but you will have to be able to participate in the video via audio. Also, I spoke with my network guy, and he's helping me set up a separate email for the art submissions. As I said, we are going to be doing a contest. I have not forgotten about that. And then we're also going to be doing a giveaway on an official picture of Preacher, one of his wins. And I will be doing that as well. I just have to set up that email. And as you guys know, I've got a lot going on, so it's not always the easiest thing for me to implement things. But I've not forgotten. We are going to do it. It's just going to be something that I develop over, a short period of time soon. So anyway, I hope that's not too long. I didn't ramble, and I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye.